Failure is not an option. So said Ed Harris as flight director Gene Kranz in the movie Apollo 13. And just for the record, Gene Kranz never actually said that. But it's become kind of a meme in today's society that failure just is not an option. But really, failure is always an option. In spite of your best efforts or your team's best efforts, failure will happen. In fact, if you haven't failed at something, then I'm pretty sure you really haven't succeeded at much either, because failure is a part of success. Now, I'm not saying that you should love failure, and I'm not saying that you should easily accept bad results, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't do everything you can to avoid failure. But in spite of all that, failure is still going to happen. So how do you handle it? Let's look at that from your point of view as an individual, as a team leader. And then let's look at your team. So when you fail, when something doesn't go right for you, what do? Do you just throw a fit? Do you get upset and begin to wallow in your own self-pity? Do you get mad and blame it on other people? Or do you accept accountability for what happened and strive to learn from it? The same question now for your team. If your team has a failure, how do you handle that? How do they handle that? Do they get mad and get upset and blame other people? Do they begin to wallow in their own self-pity, just like you? Does it become something that it just tears the team apart? You see, your bad reaction to failure will become your team's bad reaction to failure. And by the same token, your good reaction to failure becomes your team's good reaction to failure. When you strive to learn from what happened, to figure out how you can be better in the future, that's what your team will do. So you need to encourage that. You need to demonstrate it. When your team has a failure, when something goes wrong, you need to work with them to figure out what happened, to learn from it, but certainly not to blame. Failure is an opportunity. Failure is an opportunity to find new ways of doing things, to discover new procedures, new techniques. Failure, when handled correctly, positively, will help your team become more effective, more cohesive. So yes, failure is always an option. But look at it a little differently. Look at failure as just a pothole on the road to success. Thank you for watching this video. If you'd like to see more, click on the subscribe button right here. I'm always loading new content. And speaking of content, in the description below, there's a link. Go to that link. It takes you to our website where you can download a lot more great information. And it's no sales. It's all free. Just want to give you some tips, tools, and techniques to help you be a more effective leader.